Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Nonprofit Learning Lab for today's workshop. If you have any questions along the way for our presenter, you can type them into the question box in your GoToWebinar control panel, likely on the right-hand side of your screen. If you have any tech questions, you can also type them there. If you are interested in receiving the recording and materials from today's free webinar, you can visit our free webinars page on the Nonprofit Learning Lab website, or you can send us an email at program@nonprofitlearninglab.org. And without further ado, I will now hand it over to you, Logan.
Thank you, Tammy. Appreciate it. And thanks to Nonprofit Learning Lab for having us today. And thank you to everyone who's taken the time to join me this afternoon as well. Like Tammy said, my name is Logan Foote. I am the Sales and Education Manager here at GolfStatus. I've been with GolfStatus for a little over 5 years now. I'm originally from Lincoln, Nebraska, and I have my bachelor's degree from the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. And have been just very lucky to work with GolfStatus and a lot of amazing charitable organizations throughout my time here. And today I'm kind of going to take you through how GolfStatus can help you run your golf event, but more importantly, just the value a golf event brings to your fundraising portfolio and how you can go about selling out your golf fundraiser every year. So more specifically, here's all the things that I'm going to cover in today's webinar. So I'll look at the golf event in general, as well as donor stewardship, how you can really steward a lot of your supporters through the golf event, how you can best go about attracting players to your golf tournament, as well as the businesses that we've seen that are really typically the best to target as potential sponsors for your event. I'll go over technology for your golf fundraiser and the many advantages you'll gain by utilizing technology as part of your golf event. And then we'll go over some steps that you can take to kind of get the ball rolling and get started with your golf event. But the first thing I'm going to go over here is launch our first poll of the day. Very simple. Have you ever played a golf tournament? Yes or no? I know sometimes that golf events do get a bad rap. Sometimes they're considered very time consuming. They're very difficult to plan. If you don't know much about the game of golf, it's difficult for you to plan one. But as long as you have the right tools at your disposal, it is absolutely possible to execute a golf event, no matter your familiarity with the game itself or how experienced you are in planning the event. As long as you have that right event software that's specifically tailored to handle a golf event, you can absolutely do it. And so the majority of you have planned a golf event before, which is great. We have some people who haven't as well. Regardless, we're glad that you're here with us today, and I think we'll go over a lot of points that you'll take a lot of value from, whether you have experience with golf or not. So before we kind of get into a lot of the nitty gritty, first off, why golf? So why should you consider a golf event if you haven't already as part of your fundraising portfolio throughout the years? So first off, golf tournaments really have seen a resurgence in the past couple of years, especially amid the pandemic. They kind of became the go-to fundraising option in 2020 as well as 2021. They're outside, you can easily socially distance. They were really easily adapted to whatever restrictions you may have been experiencing in your area of the country. But it's also been a really great solution to cancel events as well as virtual fatigue. A lot of people kind of got sick of attending events through a screen. The golf event was unique and they could still actually attend, be outside, be around people in a safe manner. So it became a very safe in-person fundraising option. And the golf industry also did a really phenomenal job of outlining a safe return to play as well, just giving guidelines that their facilities could use to make sure everyone visiting their golf course was staying as safe as they possibly could. And then kind of what we've seen since the pandemic, since it started in 2020, a lot of organizations are keeping the first year events they had with golf going post-COVID. They saw the value it brought. And now a lot of them are in their second or some even their third year golf events, which is just fantastic. And golf is kind of what all that leads to say is golf is very popular. They had a record-setting year in the year 2020, and they actually improved on it in 2021. Golf grew at about a 5% increase in golf rounds throughout the country, which doesn't sound like a lot, but that actually amounts to 20 million additional rounds of golf nationwide. The growth hasn't been as quite that aggressive in 2022, but they're still well above the number of rounds going off that they were before COVID hit in 2020. So golf's popularity is still very strong. And kind of like I already mentioned, you don't have to know about golf at all. Technology makes it really possible for anyone to hold a golf tournament, whether you're an individual, a passionate supporter, a corporate entity, or partner. It's really a common misconception that you have to be familiar with the game in order to execute a golf fundraiser. We at GolfStatus have worked with multiple really large golf event organizers who are not golfers. They never will be golfers, but they have the right tools at their disposal and they can put on a very successful golf event. So kind of continuing on this topic, why golf? Well, golf tournaments accomplish multiple goals. First and foremost, the main reason anyone puts on a fundraising event, they're very effective in raising money for your cause. And a big reason for that is because the type of person that a golf event attracts, which I'll go over some statistics here in a moment. But people really want to golf. Like I just detailed, golf is extremely popular right now. It's an activity many donors genuinely enjoy, and a golf event offers sponsors really high-end quality exposure to a very valuable audience that you definitely want to have within your donor database. So when we look at the golfer demographic, some stats worth mentioning here, their average net worth is over $700,000. 1 in 3 are top level managers or decision makers at their places of work. 90% of Fortune 500 CEOs are golfers. 83% own mutual funds and stocks, and 18% own 2 or more homes. So these are the people that you want in your donor database. You want participating in your fundraising events. So these are the type of people that golf typically draws in. Golf also offers you a really great opportunity to expand your donor base as well. What we see happen a lot with a golf event is most golf events are 4-person team events. And what typically happens is one person who is familiar with your organization signs up, and then they bring along 3 of their friends who likely don't know much about your organization, have never been exposed to who you are and what you do. So you really have an opportunity to get your organization in front of people who have never seen you before or aren't familiar with your cause or what you're trying to accomplish. And it's a great way to bring in additional supporters into the fold. You also have the opportunity to advance important relationships. Again, it's through a pastime that many of these people actually enjoy. You get meaningful donor stewardship and outreach. Most golf events will take anywhere from 4 to 6 hours, so you get a lot of face-to-face time with your supporters, which is incredibly valuable. Businesses often are willing to purchase a sponsorship and are eager to send a team for networking opportunities, and it also gives you the ability to forge and steward corporate connections that can later hopefully turn into even broader support for your organization. And then lastly, it makes it very easy for you to raise awareness about your organization, about your cause, about your mission. A little later on, I'll have some really good examples of how some golf events use their event to really create a strong cause connection. So it offers you a great opportunity to do that as well. So when it comes to attracting players to your golf tournament, here's kind of a list of what golfers want, what they expect when they come play in a golf fundraiser. So obviously they want a fun day out on the course, whether, maybe the event is during the week and they're getting away from work, or it's on the weekend. These people genuinely enjoy playing the game of golf. So if they can play golf while supporting a great cause, they're going to have a really great time doing that. They want to, again, support a great cause. And lastly, they want a great experience. I get asked a lot, what will separate my golf event from other golf events out there? And I always tell them it's the experience. How much fun did you have? Did you have any unique games or contests or kind of fun vendors on site? If you can give them a really great experience, that's what will stick with them in their mind and keep them coming back year after year. And I'll have a few examples of some golf events and kind of how they put on a really great event through giving their golfers a great experience here in a little bit. But one of the first things that you can do when kind of setting up your golf event, or if you've already ran one, kind of ensuring that this is the case, is you want to really make it easy to register. More specifically, you want to make it easy to register online. This is something I see a lot of events struggle with because they're not using the best tools available. Maybe they're stuck messing with paper forms, writing checks, having people mail in their registrations. These ways of registering for events are outdated, and more importantly, they're extremely time consuming. So moving your registration online is extremely key to streamlining that aspect of your golf event, as well as driving as many registrations and sponsorships as possible. Moving it online makes it really easy for golfers and sponsors to commit. Another big part of using an online registration platform is that you want to make sure it's mobile friendly as well. We do everything on our phones these days. So if you have a website, but it's not mobile friendly, that's just another barrier for golfers or sponsors to sign up. So make sure the site's mobile friendly as well. And online registration makes it easier for the organizers as well. Everything is organized in one spot. You don't have to deal with numerous spreadsheets, hunting down people's payments the day of the event, having multiple really funnels for people to register through. It's all coming through one spot. All the info, the data you need is all in one place. It will make your life just so much easier. So when it comes to using an event website, here are the benefits that it really provides to you. I've kind of covered a few of them already, but you want to make promotion easy and efficient. So if you have an event website, you can simply just take your link, your URL, and basically link that on your organization's website, in emails, in your staff email signatures, link out in social media. If you do have any printed materials you're using for promotion, you can very easily generate a QR code that lives on that piece of paper, or all of your printed promotional items, where people can just basically hold their phones up to it and jumps them right into your event website. That makes promotion so much more easy and incredibly more efficient. If you have that event website, you can just share that URL. But on the event website, you also want to include event logistics as well as details. This should really be an informational hub for the event, for people to find out information about the course, whatever format the event that you're utilizing for the tournament, find any registration information, the schedule for the day, anything they need to know about the event. They should be able to find it on your event website. It's also a great place to share updates, something folks can refer back to if there are any changes or things you want to communicate. Do it right there on the website. Link people back to the website when you have an update, but also use it to share your organization's story. Keep it clean, keep it professional, but include enough information about your organization to really compel people to support it. Things we've seen that are very effective, photos, testimonials from people who have played in the past, or even just supported your organization, or even a short video of the event last year to just show how meaningful and also how fun it was. That can be very powerful for people to see and to register for your event, especially if they haven't done so before. So when it comes to kind of starting to drive that promotion and getting people to sign up for the event, the first place to start is really contacting your past participants and all the supporters you already have in your donor database. These are the people that are most likely to sign up for your event if they've played in the event before, or if they've even just supported your organization before in really any way, shape, or form. Start your promotion with this group. Send a quick email that links to the event website. If yours is a very first year golf event, start with your core supporters. We all have those donors that are really at the top of our list in terms of support. Start with them and then kind of branch out from there. Send personal invitations to this group. Mailed invites makes really the most sense here for these people. Thank them for their past support. Ask them to participate again. Include a QR code on that handwritten letter. That's really a nice personal touch and can really go a long way with these folks. And then ask them to share with others. They likely have a decent network of people that they're connected to that they may share it out. Again, this speaks to expanding your donor database through the golf event. They may likely have a lot of people in their network that aren't familiar with who you are and what you do. Just ask them to, hey, give a quick share to your network on social media, through an email, whatever it may be, and help drive registration that way. And then donations. Even if folks aren't local to your golf tournament or they don't have the ability to attend the golf tournament, make sure your event site has the ability to simply collect in-kind donations. We've had so many of our clients here absolutely shocked by how many donations, in-kind donations, they drove through their website simply just by making it an available option. You might be very surprised how many people want to support you, even if they can't actually sign up and attend the event. So make sure whatever website you're utilizing has that ability to accept those donations, whatever that amount may be. And then another good way is to call on your board or committee members. Make sure they have an active role in recruiting golfers to the event. A good strategy is to ask each of them to make a list of 5 to 10 contacts they will personally reach out to about playing in or even sponsoring the event, and then follow up with them to kind of check on the progress that they've made. And make them, make specific and manageable requests to them, give them, an actionable goal, and that makes it easier for them to deliver, make sure they stay focused. And then it's also for you very easy to track their progress they're making. And then provide talking points, provide templates. This will really help make sure the messaging coming from these board members or committee members is consistent across the board, whether they're making a phone call, sending emails, just makes it as easy as possible and really as streamlined as possible for everyone involved, and to make sure that messaging, that promotional messaging out there is as consistent as it possibly can be. And then lean on others connected to your organization. If you're someone who's kind of a lone ranger planning this event all by yourself, lean on others around you, whether it's people connected to the org, really strong supporters of the organization, volunteers, staff members, whoever. Give anyone that wants a role in helping build this event, let them help out. Don't be afraid to delegate to them and make sure they give you some help building this event. Another good step is to connect with local businesses. This is an opportunity to engage employees as well as clients. Businesses will often use golf events to engage or reward their employees as well as entertain prospective clients. So they are prime candidates for sponsorships, but they're also prime candidates to help fill a team in the event as well. And that kind of leads me to my next point. A lot of our golf events will build teams into their sponsorship packages. It's kind of a great way to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. You sell a sponsorship, but you also fill a team up. So that actually makes sponsorships a little more attractive to a lot of businesses, gives them the opportunity to get out there and actually play and kind of see the exposure they're getting firsthand. So don't be afraid to include a team or even multiple teams if it's a really high dollar sponsorship. But when it comes to connecting with businesses, make sure you're making specific and manageable requests. Really work with your planning team and others to make a list of maybe 10 businesses that might be interested in sending the team, and see if anyone on your planning team has any personal connections with anyone that they can easily go reach out to and have a conversation with about supporting the event in some way, shape, or form. And kind of like I've already mentioned, give actionable goals that make it really easy for these people to deliver. And later on in this presentation, I'm going to get into types of businesses that we've seen are typically really strong sponsors and supporters of golf events. Another thing you can do is send strategic reminder and promotional emails. These are very cost and time effective. You can easily reach potential golfers and sponsors without a lot of time or effort on your part. Be sure not to spam. We see some organizers get carried away, sending 3, 4, sometimes even 5 emails a week. That's a little much. So you want to make sure you be strategic. You want to. It's good to get in front of these folks several times, but if you hit them too often, that can kind of turn into an annoyance. So make sure you're being strategic. Send a save the date as soon as the info is set. Maybe another 6 or so months ahead, and then another reminder a couple months out, and then maybe a week out. You could do kind of a final last chance push just ahead of the deadline to submit numbers to the golf facility. So you want to stay top of mind with people, but be strategic and definitely don't overdo it. And then include the link to your event website. All your emails should link directly back to the event website. That's the call to action. That's where you want to drive everyone. make sure that link is in there. And then promote the event on social media. Again, this is also very cost and time effective. Utilize your organization's accounts, platforms, whatever it may be, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. You can link everywhere. And one of the best things about social media is it's easily shareable. So it lets all of your supporters, as well as all those who have registered, easily share this out to everyone in their network, all of their friends. This can really kind of create a snowball effect for registration and just getting as many eyeballs on your event as possible. Another strong suggestion we've seen a lot of our clients use in the past is they time their posts on social media with email campaigns. And this just helps drive the max amount of traffic to their event websites, which has proved really effective in helping drive registration. And then use it as an opportunity to shout out any sponsors you have committed already. Additional sponsor recognition really reminds others that there are sponsorship opportunities available, and it's a great way to really quickly show appreciation for any sponsor that has signed up early on. Also, a really effective strategy is don't be afraid to get personal. Contact donors directly. Personal phone call, email, a text. You never know what might move the needle for those that might be on the fence. And kind of like I've said before, this can go a long way with some of your donors, showing the time to give them that personal phone call, that email, shoot them a text. That impresses a lot of people and can really help drive registration, as well as help them turn into advocates for others to sign up and support the event as well. But utilize tools that allow you to focus on these relationships. This is one of the big reasons that you should utilize technology. A lot of this can be time consuming. So if you use a platform that makes it easy for people to sign up and register, collect payment, this gives you the time to have those personal touch points with your supporters and drive that registration. So that's a big reason to definitely consider utilizing technology. And the goal here is to keep supporters engaged. You want to get them involved with events like the golf tournament, keep them invested in your organization's success. Again, another really big reason to take the time to kind of get personal with these folks. The more appreciation you show them, the more they're likely to give back to your org and to your cause. And then this is all just speaking to, stewarding these donors. All those personal touch points leads them to continue to come back to you, support your events, support your organization, and however they see fit. So again, I can't emphasize it enough. Utilizing technology to handle all the logistical details frees you up to get as personal with your donors and your supporters, so they continue to support your cause year after year. And then help golfers understand the impact of their purchase. I kind of mentioned the cause connection earlier. This is big, especially the day of the event. You really want to create a meaningful connection to your cause, to your mission. So provide as much context for where and how every dollar counts. So be specific. So you could equate the value of a whole sponsorship or team registration with a tangible, specific outcome. Sort of a whole sponsorship purchase feeds a family in need for a full year, or a team registration covers the cost of providing books to 10 underserved classrooms in our community. That's something that will stick with these folks while they're playing in your golf event, and just creates that strong cause connection. And communicate this whenever possible. You can use this in your promotion of the event, on the event website, personal email and mass email campaigns, social media, or just in general in conversation. This really helps people understand what you do and why you do it. Some really good examples I've had of events really taking advantage of their golf event to make strong cause connection was one tournament that supports families of fallen soldiers. They brought out the boots, the rifle, and the helmet of a fallen soldier, and they had it displayed really nicely, really tastefully off of one of the greens, and it was a very powerful thing for all of the golfers to see, and they knew right then and there where their money was going to. Another one of our larger partners, who's actually pictured on this slide here, Children's Miracle Network, who support kids in their hospitals dealing with various really rough diseases. They actually brought out a few kids who received treatment at one of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals locally to meet and to speak with the people participating in the event. And that's really strong, and people are going to remember that forever. And that makes them more likely to come back year after year, because they know they want to support all of these kids who need the support, who need these treatments from the hospital. So use the event as a way to build that connection to your mission, to your cause, for anyone attending the tournament. Now, where you are going to see the bulk of your funds come from when running a golf tournament is the sponsorships. We've seen sponsorships sell for upwards of $50,000. You know, all depends on the event, the golf course, the event's audience, what's provided with the sponsorship. We've seen some sponsors in the six-figure range as well. But this is where you're going to raise the most money. You can offer sponsorships really for just about anything. You can provide exposure within your technology platform, flags, beverage cart, player prizes, luncheon, caddies, banners, hole signs. One of my favorite organizers I've worked with through my time here, she sells a lot of sponsorships, and something she likes to say is, if I can put a logo on it, I'm selling a sponsorship for it. So this really opens the door for corporate partnerships as well as high capacity donors. Golf events introduce your organization to new partners. They give you the chance to steward them as well as network over the course of the event. Like I said, golf events take 4 to 6 hours typically, so you get a lot of time, a lot of face time with these sponsors. And then businesses themselves, they want to win-win. They want to be associated with a worthy cause while also gaining great exposure for their brand. So it's really a home run for them. If they can get in front of a high-end, highly affluent, influential audience like the golfer demographic brings, while at the same time supporting a great cause, many businesses are going to jump at the chance to do that. Now, what are the best businesses to target as sponsors? We have kind of a list of the typical companies that we've seen be very popular with the golf event, but a good place to start, no matter who you are, is with existing relationships. Activate your volunteers, your board, planning committee to tap into their networks, ask them to make intros, or even see if they're comfortable making the actual ask to whoever they're connected to. And then leverage vendors, partners, and others you do business with. They may be happy to support your event and gain exposure through a sponsorship or just even an in-kind donation. Those who, like I said, really want to get their brand in front of an affluent, influential members of the community. These are the people that you want to go after. Next thing you kind of want to look at is just who's around locally. After you've exhausted all of the connections you have, who's locally, who's in the community, or who does a lot of business in the community in which your org works. Also, don't be afraid to go after regional or national companies, or anyone who's headquartered with offices in your area. A lot of these types of businesses have budgets for these types of sponsorships. So, don't be afraid to go out there, explain, what you're doing, and just make a quick ask. You might be surprised that how many people may have the ability to donate to your event. And it doesn't always have to be a monetary donation or sponsorship. We see a lot of events, you get in-kind services or things donated to them. So make sure you still recognize those contributions. A lot of examples are things, if you have an auction, they donate auction items. If you have any pin prizes or raffle prizes, they can make donations to include there, as well as with swag bags or thank you bags for the participants. So don't just think you have to go to sponsors to get them to purchase exposure. They can also donate a number of various items for various reasons to the event to help elevate it as well. But when it comes to the specific types of businesses that we've seen typically sponsor a golf tournament, here's kind of the list of what we've found over our time working with charitable golf fundraisers. So first and foremost, food and beverage. So restaurants, including locally owned, farm to table, upscale restaurants, maybe wineries or vineyards, distilleries, liquor stores, beverage distributors, sports and cocktail bars. Those are all very popular sponsors for golf events. They also, a lot of the time, have free stuff they'll gladly provide to you to include in things like swag bags or pin prizes, maybe even donate gift cards to their restaurant. That's all very common with golf events. Next, healthcare providers. So primary care physicians, dentists, orthodontists, chiropractors, sports medicine, physical therapists, very popular, but also surgical practices, as well as dermatologists. And then there's sports and fitness. So, gyms, fitness centers, personal trainers, sporting goods stores, Golf equipment stores, that's an obvious one. It's an obvious slam dunk, getting right in front of their clientele. But also business-to-business agencies, so ad agencies, PR companies, tech companies, as well as consultants, and then financial service providers. Again, makes a lot of sense with the type of demographic the golf event attracts. Financial service providers, wealth management services, insurance companies, insurance agents, as well as accounting firms or banks and credit unions, all very popular or very common sponsors that we see associated with the golf event. Then kind of rounding out this list, we have home services. So home builders, architects, real estate companies or real estate agents, home remodeling companies, contractors, as well as interior designers are very common sponsors. And then luxury brands and services. So jewelers, high-end clothing brands and boutiques, luxury car dealerships, as well as high-end furniture stores. And then lastly, travel. So car dealerships, car services, rental car companies, as well as travel agencies. It's pretty common to kind of see an event do a hole-in-one contest and have a car parked out by the tee box from a car dealership, that if anyone were to get a hole-in-one, they win the car. So travel companies are also very popular as well. Now, when it comes to making the ask of the sponsorship, so first off, you'll want to make sure all of your sponsorship packages of every level are listed on your event website. So make it easy to share a link where sponsors can commit right on the spot. Again, remove those barriers to commitment to registration. Then reach out to sponsors directly. Explain the event, explain the role it plays in your fundraising efforts and the impact the dollars will have on your mission and those that you serve. You use a template again, so your messaging is consistent. If more than one member of your team is reaching out to sponsors, which should be the case, and then follow up, phone call, email, both. Delegate to your board or planning team. You're not likely to get a sponsor to commit just after one touch point, so don't be afraid to follow up. Really stay persistent there, and then recognize their contribution and maximize their exposure. Get their logo on your event's website right away. Maybe include their logo in any email blasts or promotion you're doing via social media. Like I said, you really want to show appreciation to these sponsors right away. They're looking for ROI. And if you can give them exposure right away and show that appreciation right away, they'll feel more confident in purchasing a sponsorship package for your event. And then really maximize sponsorship dollars. So sponsorship packages should be attractive. They should be relevant. Something that we see a lot of events doing lately is offering broad digital exposure. So that's kind of provides more ROI than just signage on the golf course, the day of the event. It gives you the opportunity to give them premium exposure before, during, as well as after the event. Whereas, the example of just the sign on the golf course, that's just during the tournament when golfers see it once and then it's gone. Digital exposure gives you that opportunity to give them exposure throughout, before, during, and after. And including the event registration website. If you're using a mobile app to live score, that's a great place to provide exposure to a sponsor, as well as kind of that goes with live scoring, exposure on a live leaderboard of all the scores. The live leaderboard is something that gets viewed countless times during an event. That's a great place to throw a sponsor logo. They'll get a lot of exposure there throughout the day, as well as probably after the event. But some other great places to provide exposure to sponsors is a pin flag sponsorship, which is pictured here. Hole sponsors, contests, I kind of mentioned hole-in-one contests is a great opportunity. Putting closest to the pin. What's fun about a lot of these contests is they're taking place on a set point on the golf course. So you can invite whoever's sponsoring to kind of sit on the tee or wherever the contest may be taking place and engage with all of your golfers as they come through. So it's a great opportunity not only for them to get exposure as the contest sponsor, but also engage with all of your supporters during the event as well. But don't be afraid to think outside the box. Beverage cart, banquet sponsor, cocktail hour. Like I said, from the quote from my favorite organizer rings true. If you can put a logo on it, sell a sponsorship for it. Even just put it out there on your website. If no one bites on it, you don't have to fulfill it. So it's a great way to, again, drive sponsorship dollars, drive just overall fundraising dollars for the event. So don't be afraid to go big. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. So now I've reached our next poll question. Have you ever used an event management platform for a fundraising event? So event management platforms, kind of like I've mentioned, they make life easier for organizers, especially when it comes to the walks or the galas, the auctions. Now, when it comes to the golf event, that technology really hasn't existed up until recently. There are a lot of specific nuances that a golf event presents that your general event planning software can't really handle. So when it comes to utilizing technology for a golf event, you want to make sure you have one that was built specifically to address the needs of a golf event. So most of you have said no. We have some yeses out there, but most no. So it's like I've said before, I can't emphasize enough how much time utilizing the proper technology will really save you for your golf event. So here are some things to really consider when you're looking at technology for your golf fundraiser. First and foremost, simple and easy to use. That's very important. Technology is great, but technology that is very time consuming to use, is not user friendly, takes a lot of time to learn, can really set you just as far back as using outdated tools. So make sure it's user friendly. You want it to be able to streamline and automate prep and planning, which will save you time and also reduce the time burden on you or anyone else on your planning team. And like I've already mentioned, you want it to be specific to golf. It needs to be able to handle those unique needs of the golf event, such as team pairings, hole assignments, cart signs. The scoring of the golf tournament is unique. There's no other event that is scored in the way a golf event is. So making sure it's specific to golf is extremely important. It needs to keep everything organized. Having everything in one place makes it extremely easy to track everything happening. It makes it easy to collaborate with all of those on your planning team, as well as with the staff at the golf facility. And it makes it possible to work with up-to-date information and not have to manage things across multiple spreadsheets, emails, or documents. Everything lives in one place, just completely streamlines collaborating with everyone involved. And then you want to make sure you have tools to raise more money. So the ability to offer those premium sponsorships, especially within the online platform, like I mentioned, on the event website, within the live scoring, on the live leaderboard. But you also want to make sure you have that ability to collect donations. You want to make sure your registrants have the ability to cover any fees that are associated with making purchases online. So your organization is seeing the full value of all of those online purchases. And then you want to provide a common tool for any third parties that may be running an event on your behalf. We see this a lot with third parties. A lot of these people are they're out in the world and they're raising money on your behalf. You get a check in the mail, which is great, but you really don't have any insights into who's planning these events, who's participating, who's sponsoring. So providing a common tool for third parties to use allows you to gain all of that access to that data, as well as just keep everything common across the board. Makes it easier for you. It also makes it easier for you to activate any additional third parties that may want to run an event on your behalf. They come to you and say, I want to run a golf tournament for you. You say, great. You can get started with this technology platform. You'll be up and running in a matter of a few days. So that's really powerful when it comes to not only helping your existing third parties, but activating any future third parties that would like to raise money on your behalf. So here's some important platform features. I've kind of mentioned some of these already, but event websites with online registration and secure payment processing. You want a platform that offers broad sponsor exposure. You also want to make sure you have those communication tools as well. Being able to easily communicate with all of your participants all at once to send them those updates, announce any changes, any reminders you'd like to send them. Make sure that platform has those communication tools so you can do just that. Ability to collect those online in-kind donations. That's very effective. And like I mentioned earlier, you may be surprised at how many donations you see come through. And then live scoring, live leaderboards. The scoring of the golf tournament is unique. No other event is scored that way. And something that can be very time consuming at the end of the event is calculating those scores and getting results out to everyone. So having live scoring at your disposal really streamlines that process. You can announce the results sooner, and you can get to any other items you may have in your post round of golf activities, whether that's a raffle, an auction, whatever it may be. Live scoring, live leaderboards allow you to kind of get through the results portion a lot quicker. And then robust reporting. Obviously, you want to know everyone that came through and supported the event. You want to be able to easily export all that information and import it back into whatever CRM platform you may be utilizing. Robust reporting is extremely important with whatever technology platform you may be considering. Now for our last poll of the day. So for all of you here, how likely are you to hold a golf tournament in the next 12 months? Are you maybe thinking about holding one, probably going to hold one, or are you definitely planning on holding a golf tournament? Obviously, we're kind of running out of time this year for golf events for most people, but as soon as we hit Jan 1 of 23, that's when a lot of the planning starts. And whether you're looking at spring, summer, or fall, you really want to give yourself as much time as possible as you can, especially if you're a first timer, and make sure you're utilizing that technology to do so. And most of you are definitely planning on holding a golf tournament in the next 12 months. That's absolutely fantastic. For those who are kind of on the fence, probably or maybe, no worries. I'll kind of get to this here towards the end, but we're more than happy. Our team here at GolfStatus kind of talks with everyone, no matter kind of where they are in the planning process. We'll meet you wherever you are and kind of lay out next steps. So speaking of next steps, how can you get started? I kind of already teased this. Start planning now. Give yourself options no matter what local circumstances may be, whether you're looking at spring, summer, fall. Launch a website now and kind of get this on people's radars. Even if you don't have all of the details finalized, you can still launch an event website and kind of put TBD. Like if you don't have a course, you don't have a date, you know you're going to run the event, you're still ironing out those details. That's more than fine. Launch that event website, get it on people's radars, and then get on board with technology. Again, can't emphasize this enough. Technology saves you so much time, keeps everything in one place, makes collaboration so much easier, and allows you more time to have those personal touch points with your supporters, which go a really long way with a lot of people and just allow you to effectively steward those folks. So I can't emphasize it enough. Utilize technology. It will absolutely save you so much time and make your event so much more effective. Launch that event website, use digital channels to link directly to the site. All of your promotions should link back to the site. That is the call to action. That's where you want everyone to go. So link on social media, your organization's website, emails, email signatures, and get those registration and sponsorship packages listed. And make sure your event site is mobile friendly, especially with your email and social media promotion. When you drive people to the site from there, a lot of people will view that on their mobile device. So make sure that they can sign up and right then and there. Don't make them see the site, say, oh, I got to get on my computer to use this. Make sure it's mobile friendly so they can do it all right from their mobile device. And then switch to online registration again. Saves tons of time, resources, effort. Lets golfers and sponsors commit right on the spot, right when they hear about it. Empower your planning committee staff and board members. Really utilize your teams to help promote the event to players, reach out to potential sponsors, work together to craft a strategy about how to reach potential golfers and sponsors and who is really best to go about contacting those folks. And look for new sponsorship opportunities. I've already detailed the kind of popularity of offering more digital exposure to sponsors, which can really return a strong return on investment for those sponsors. Look for tech that has robust exposure across multiple touch points. High-end sponsorships can cover fixed costs like the cost of a contest and raise more money. The sponsorships are where you're going to bring in the most money. So finding new, unique ways to offer a wide-ranging exposure will be very effective. And lastly, don't stress. Help is available. There are tools and solutions out there to help you be successful. Even if you're a first timer, don't stress, you can absolutely do this. So how can we at GolfStatus help? So we are a solution for charities and event organizers. We have worked with thousands of charity golf tournaments of all types and sizes, from your small local memorial golf scrambles all the way up to extremely large corporate outings, and everywhere in between. So no matter the size of your event, we can absolutely help you. We've helped raise tens of millions of dollars through built-in fundraising tools. We've saved organizers thousands of hours of labor, and our goal is to help you save time and resources, attract more participants, organize a more professional and fun event, and of course, raise the most money as possible for your cause. We do provide easily and effectively promote your event through our custom registration websites. These sites are mobile friendly and you easily have the ability to share your organization's story through them. We simplify and automate registration. We do have secure online registration via our event website. It also comes with secure donor data collection. We streamline the tournament management process through our technology that was built specifically for golf events. Included within our tournament management platform is robust reporting, and the whole platform is web-based. So it makes for very easy delegation as well as very easy collaboration. You can onboard sponsors and provide them with some very premium digital exposure. We have some really cool custom unique packages that are specific to our platform that a lot of our events have had a lot of success selling to sponsors. It's a sponsorship that we call the technology sponsorship, basically offering them exposure within the platform and the live scoring, the live leaderboard. And on average, our clients are raising an additional $4,000 in sponsorship dollars by selling this package. So we're extremely excited about the return that our clients are seeing on that sponsorship package. We also add the ability to add fun and excitement to the event as well. We do have an app for these golf tournaments where they can live score through their mobile device, and through that they can view live leaderboards as well as purchase add-ons and extras both before and during the event. So it really adds a lot of fun, excitement, and engagement to the event. And then of course, at the end of the day, we're here to raise more money. So we allow you to collect those donations online. We allow you to post add-ons to sell raffle tickets, mulligans, or even promote your auction items. You can run contests through us as well. We have hole-in-one contests. A lot of our events will utilize to raise more funds, and also exclusive sponsorships. Through all of our sponsorship offerings and contest offerings, we're seeing events raise $10,000 or more in additional sponsorship revenue through these contests. So again, we're very excited about how our clients are really utilizing our platform to the fullest extent to get really the biggest ROI as possible. In terms of support that we provide to all of our clients, we're there with you the whole way through, before, during, and after the event. We have an in-house customer success team. They're also available via online chat 24/7. They'll be to help you, your planning team. They'll work with the golf facility staff if they need to. If any of your players or sponsors have a question upon signing up online, they're there to assist them as well. So you do not have to be an expert whatsoever. Lean on our support team. They're extremely incredible at their jobs. They're incredibly responsive, and each of our client gets a specific member of our customer success team assigned to them to work with them the whole way through. But in any of those instances you need any immediate assistance, the whole team will be there at your beck and call. And we've been helping nonprofits leverage really the giving power of golf through what we call our Golf for Good program. Really, it's a give back initiative that allows us to offer no cost access to the technology to any 501c3s out there raising money for a good cause. Even if you're not a nonprofit yourself, or if you don't have that 501c designation, if you are raising money for a good cause, we can give you no cost access to our platform. Also, our marketing team does an incredible job of updating our Golf for Good blog with a lot of great tips, great stories. And then we also have an incredibly robust resource library with a bunch of free to download resources, including white papers, templates, case studies, really anything that you'll need to assist in your golf fundraising journey, you can find in that incredible resource library. So with that, we'll take the remaining time to open it up to any questions that any of you have.
Thank you, Logan. It looks like we do have quite a few great questions. Our first one is, I myself nor my colleagues play golf. Can we still plan a golf fundraiser successfully?
So they do play golf? Was that the question? Or they
Uh,
don't?
they do not play golf. They were wondering if they can still plan a golf fundraiser successfully.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said in my presentation, I've worked with a number of very successful golf tournament organizers who really don't know the first thing about the game in general, but they still know how to put on an effective event. And when it comes to any of the golf specifics, you can absolutely lean on our team. This is what we do. We're experts in golf and putting on a golf event. So absolutely 100%, they can absolutely do it even if they don't play golf.
Thank you. Our next question is, what are the charges involved with using GolfStatus?
Yeah, so like I said, to all of our those who qualify under our Golf for Good program, we won't charge you anything up front. We'll get you all set up with access to our platform, get an event site built out for you where you can start taking registrations and payments for sponsors and golfers. Where the costs come in are there are some fees involved with purchasing or making online purchases through the system. There are some credit card fees there. But like I said in the presentation, we do have the ability to pass those on to your registrants so they can cover them for your organization. And then through the unique sponsorship opportunities we have within the platform, as well as some of our contests that we do, there are some flat rate fees involved there. But a lot of those are only come into play if the event is successful in selling those sponsorship packages. So if a sponsorship package does not sell, one of these specific packages that we offer, like the technology sponsorship, there is no fee whatsoever. So basically, we only win if you win. Our success is contingent upon how much success your event has. And then we can always get into specifics depending on what your event looks like if anyone reaches out to us after the fact.
Thank you. Our next question is, are there times of the year or days of the week that are better than others?
Yeah, it kind of depends on your situation and kind of what kind of golf course you booked. So when it comes to booking a golf course, you'll have the option of either a public golf course or a private golf course. Private golf courses usually shut down their course to their members on Mondays to host charity outings. Um, so you'll likely kind of be pigeonholed if you go with a private course, but the private course can be a nice draw for people who maybe aren't members there. When it comes to a public course, you'll likely have kind of your pick of the day that you would like to hold it. You see a lot of those events go off on like a Friday or maybe a Saturday. So those are the common days I think there is, but I don't really think there's a wrong answer. If you do it during the week, you're giving people an opportunity to kind of get away from the office and get outside and play some golf. But people may have more availability on the weekends. So really just comes down to knowing your donor database and kind of when typically they play in these events. But I don't really think there's a wrong answer there.
Thank you. Our next question is, do you have any suggestions for follow-up with sponsors after the tournament?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good opportunity to kind of make another personal touch point, whether that's a handwritten thank you note or maybe if you're sending out a mass thank you email to everyone who participated, giving them exposure there as well. Those are the kind of the most common things that I see a lot of events do. But like I said, a big key is to make it personal, really ensure that you're showing appreciation for them supporting your event as then they're more likely to come back and support the golf event next year, but maybe even support some of your other events as well.
Great, thank you. And we do still have a few minutes for questions, so if anybody has any more questions as we are answering the ones we already have, you are welcome to post those in the questions box in your go-to control panel. Our next question is, what's the most interesting, out-of-the-box, and successful thing you've seen done at a golf event?
That's a good question. I got a couple answers. One of the cool things I saw, I didn't see it myself, but a client of ours told me they did was, so most hole-in-one contests are done obviously on a par three, where you can get the ball in the hole in one shot. Now, obviously, each green usually just has one cup, one pin, but what this event did was they cut 7 or 8 holes into one green. So you'd have a higher chance of getting a hole in one, but they would charge per try that you took. And they got people, paying to take, 4 or 5, sometimes 6 tries because there's so many holes cut on the green. So that was a really cool, unique way. I was told that they raised a decent amount of money that I'd never heard of before. I also had another event tell me that they had a local liquor company sponsor the tournament, and it was I believe it was a whiskey company, and they basically brought out a whole basket of their different types of whiskey, and the event basically put that bucket or basket in the middle of a fairway, and whoever hit their drive closest to it got to keep it. So that was kind of a way to not necessarily raise more funds, but just elevate the overall experience, make it very memorable. So I think those are the two most creative ways I've heard to kind of make your event a little more memorable, or I guess some out of the box thinking, if you will. But I'm sure there's plenty of other stories out there that I just haven't heard yet.
Thank you so much, Logan. That looks like all of the questions we have at this time.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone who attended. Thank you, Tammy, Nonprofit Learning Lab, for having us. Here's a look at some of our upcoming free webinars, but I appreciate everyone taking the time with us this afternoon.
Thank you, Logan. This workshop has now come to a close. If you are interested in receiving the recordings and materials from today's free webinar, you can visit our free webinars page on the Nonprofit Learning Lab website, or you can send us an email at program@nonprofitlearninglab.org. Thank you so much for participating, and again, thank you, Logan, for educating our community.